Hey everybody, welcome back to Readers of the Right. Today we've got a really fun book review on one of the books I didn't expect to like as much as I did in the Warhammer 40k universe, and that is Assassinorum Kingmaker. I'm not usually a huge fan of raw political intrigue, especially in sci-fi. It doesn't tend to hit well, but this story surprised me in a way that I really enjoyed. So let's dive into it, do a quick overview of the book, and then talk about some of the really cool key points that made this such a good book and such a successful book. So, in a basic overview, we will be talking a little bit about it, and there's some brief spoilers for the beginning. But if you're okay with those, stay with us. If not, go ahead and read the book. I don't want to spoil anything for you because there's a lot of really cool twists and turns in this story that I think you'll enjoy. Now, with that said, this book is a really fun story about a group of assassins that have to organize in order to take back control of a night world. This world is on the brink of rebellion right when everything is happening with the Anomalous Crusade, and Gilliman needs those knights in his fight. After refusing to respond to that request multiple times, the Munitorum decides that they have to send in the assassins in order to clear things up. Some of their spies have informed them that the monarchy is in open rebellion and something needs to be done about it. And that's where our team of 3 assassins, as well as a night pilot from that world who's been out on crusade, and his assistant, who the title I just blanked on, and for all the knight players out there, I apologize. I know there's a lot of really deep lore with knights, but this group is sent to retake the world from potential chaos. As they get there, they find out that it's not exactly what they thought. Knight culture is not really like Imperial culture. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of jockeying for position, especially on this planet, where there's 2 knight houses that have split the planet. This has led to a lot of political intrigue and sneaking and conniving and backstabbing, which is the entrance that the assassins use to break in. Now, from there, if you haven't read the story, read the story. If you have, you know what's coming. But with everything that goes on, the 3 assassins are completely fascinating. And Robert Rath does an amazing job giving personality to groups of people who kind of don't. It's hard to imagine a deep personality with several of these assassin classes, but every single one of these characters is so well done. All of their individual motivations and flaws really draws you in. And on top of that, this is the first book I've read that you really get the inside view of how knight culture works. And that's something that I've really enjoyed learning about, to the point where I have created a list for a more canonical knight army than what you see on the tabletops and competitions. That is coming next week. So next week we'll be doing the overview on how to make a lore accurate knight army, just like we did the White Scars army last week. Then the week after that, we have a special request from you guys, and that is the Dark Angels, but in the format that you'd see in Lion Son of the Forest. So I've got a bunch of really cool stuff coming, and this story is really part of that driving factor. It's one of the books that made me really want to actually go into the more lore accurate armies and see if I could create one that feels fun to play, even though competitively it might not be great, but feels like it's a knight army. A lot of that build was inspired by a lot of the political intrigue and the depth that these knight armies go to with their houses and their power struggles and their almost fantasy level political maneuvering, and monarchies paired with giant mechs that can rip armies to pieces. Really, really fits the theme and the motif of the story. It's about who you can trust and who you can't, where you can actually find friends even though life may be difficult. And through all of that, it still stays grimdark. It's not a real epic fantasy where everything goes right. In the end, things tend to work out, but that's not what it looks like even up till close to the very end. It's such a good story with really unlikely heroes, not just the assassins, but our armiger pilot, the one who had been out on crusade and was helping the assassins to retake his homeland. It really, really feels, just in a writing style, like you're reading an epic fantasy in Warhammer 40k, while still not missing any of the hallmarks of a good science fiction story. You still have gunfights, you still have spaceships, you still have all of the stuff that you're expecting in Warhammer 40k, along with chaos, lots and lots of chaos. But you get the feeling that you're almost in a Game of Thrones-esque story, but the armor suits they wear are knights, or Imperial knights. It's a story that I really love as a fantasy and science fiction reader. So I have to absolutely recommend this. For me, one of the big story arcs or the big story points were some of the redemption arcs. I'm not going to go into those because those are massive spoilers. But there's a few different redemption arcs that are some of the best I've actually seen in Warhammer 40k. Giving people hope and giving people a future while still being grimdark is something that I really love about 40k in general. But this story really nails it. We're going to keep it a little short today, but I absolutely do recommend it. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. If you guys have any good suggestions for knights that you think should be on that lore accurate army list, let me know as well. I have some ideas myself that I want to do, but if you guys have any suggestions, I'm always open to those, especially for knights players. Knights are one that I haven't really faced very often. I love the look of. I got to see some at the Salt Lake Open and see how they play a little bit, but it's not an army I know well, and I hope to someday have that in my collection. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. If you have any other Warhammer 40k books that you want me to cover in these book reviews, comment below. Let me know. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got a lot of really cool stuff coming. So if you ring that little bell, it'll notify you anytime we have more stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.